my kid's birthday, and my wife is all about like 7 days of birthday. It's not just
Yeah,
one day.
yeah, both weeks.
So he's going to be 7. So he's pretty excited about all his presents and everything else that he's getting. So.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
All right, I'm gonna go grab that real quick, and I'll be right back. I think we are live. Yep, we'll give it a couple minutes. People join. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl.
Sounds like you got a puppy in there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got my dog with me. She goes pretty much.
Nice,
If we're driving somewhere, she comes with me.
nice. Yeah. Well, and you guys are coming up here end of March, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Perfect. I think we're gonna hit it just right too. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun up on the river, and depending on which rivers are all open, we're obviously going to target some big walleyes. But if like the Peshtigo or Elcano or something like that's open by the time you guys get here, good chance it's going to be epic. It'll be a lot of fun. Big giant walleyes.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We just got back from New York 2 days ago. We're doing some ice fishing up there, and Jake, the other guy who's with me, he caught a 12.5 pounder, which was pretty dang big through the ice.
Yeah, I've seen that, man. I need coordinates.
yeah. I mean, that was on the St. Lawrence. But yeah, it was a good time. I mean, I'd never done anything like that before. I mean, I'm from Texas. We don't get ice that we can walk on, so it was a good time.
Nice. Do your lakes? I mean, do you guys get any cold weather? Does anything ever freeze down there?
I mean, you might get some sheet ice, but nothing ever gets more than maybe an inch thick, if that.
Okay, that's even crazy to think that you guys even get a layer of ice.
Yeah, I mean the past 2 years, like early February, it's gotten real cold. Like we'll get in the teens and stuff for like 2 weeks straight. But other than that, that's really the only cold that we get all year.
Nice. Well, not as many people on here tonight yet. Well, we'll get started. It's all records and I'll get broadcasts again. But I guess just thanks for coming. Thanks for doing this. I know you guys are a busy group of guys. It looks like too. And
Yeah.
I seen you guys on Facebook and reached out. And I'm kind of one of these techie. I mean, I've got so many different bait boxes that I bought over the years and made my own. And this thing here is absolutely incredible. I've been using it now for a couple of weeks, and you guys did a hell of a job. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. The only thing that I keep telling people that's missing is a light. I mean, honestly, you guys have thought of it all. The construction, just everything about it is super cool. So I guess tell us a little bit about what it is. I mean, the flop industries, dive bomb industries. Who are you guys? Where'd you come from? What brought this on? And I'll let you have the mic from here.
Yeah, so Flop it's a sister company of Dive Bomb, which is they're both owned by Cody Stokes, and he started Dive Bomb in 2011, which is mainly just waterfowl products, silhouettes. We're getting into the full body space. We got full body snows coming, and then we got floaters, and then apparel as well, dry bags, stuff like that. But then he kind of got into the fishing space with Flop in 2019. He started it, and we just started out doing just apparel, stuff like that. And he had this vision of the Flop box. He wanted the baddest bait cooler on the water, which he has now, but it's been in the works for a few years, and finally it's come to fruition. So yeah, we're super excited about it, and we know that, I mean, some people might be a little bit skeptical of the price tag, but once you actually get it in your hands, we're confident that everyone's going to understand why it's priced as it is and why it is the best cooler out there. And yeah, right now we just got the 10, which is mainly for, crappie fishermen, walleye fishermen using minnows and stuff like that, or inshore fishermen using live shrimp, smaller bait. But later this fall, we're going to have the 20 and the 35 coming out to where you can put in bigger baits like bluegill, say you're fishing for blue cats or something like that. So if you need bigger bait, we're going to have the 20 and the 35 coming out. And down the line, we're going to have more products. We're going to have dry bags as well, all your fishing accessories, pliers, snippers, stuff like that. But yeah, right now the main product is the flop box.
Nice. And the size that I got here, this is the 10. And this, for us guys up in the Midwest, for everyday use, ice fishing, spring fishing in the boat here is the absolute perfect size. A couple features that this thing has, that one of the biggest problems that we run into up here ice fishing, right, is not being able to close the lid, or stuff's always freezing up. And the way your lid is designed with this cantilever, this latch, your raised lip around the edge here, you've got a nice silicone gasket. It doesn't matter, if it's cold outside, you might get a little bit of ice around the perimeter, but as soon as you push that thing down and take this latch, and then it like cantilevers over and gives you some leverage, it closes and seals. And I haven't had any icing, whatsoever with this box. So kudos to that. That thing's pretty cool. Now, I guess the biggest thing, when you look at how this thing is designed and how it's made, the aerator is built into the cooler itself. I'm going to adjust the. So this is kind of the plumbing, the work that's down there. And you see there's a little cutout right here and a spot for this guy. And this is the aerator. This is your battery, your aerator. Everything's all contained. It's a USB-C plug. And this guy just literally snaps into place and it's there. You've got a battery light indicator to tell you, how many bars are left. You can set it for full auto or full power, and then kind of an intermittent mode to conserve the battery life. Now, I've been running, and the first time I had it, I got almost 4 days, about 3.5 days on full power with that battery. That was incredible. That blew me out of the water. And now, obviously, if you're going to do it intermittently, I'm sure you'll get more out of that. But what are you guys finding as far as how much time that aerator runs for?
So if you're going to run it on continuous, it's rated for 90 hours, and then intermittent, it's over 120 hours. So like you said, 4 days, it's crazy. It'll last you the whole time. And actually, that guy that we were just up with in New York, Elijah, he's been running it for 4 days straight, and he's been on the ice for probably 12 hours every day, and it still has half charge, which is crazy, especially in those temperatures up there. It was like, the first morning we were there, it was -18. So it's really cold, and it stood up to it. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's really been the thing for me, is how well it's worked in the cold weather. When I was kind of messaging you guys, the obvious test for us is winter, is ice fishing. And if a bait box can survive a little bit of time with me on the ice, for the average guy, it'll probably last a lifetime. There's a reason I've got a nickname of Destroy, because everything I touch, I can usually break on the ice in just a few days. Yeah. So I put this thing through the ringer already, and it's done amazingly well. And for the guys that are looking for catfish stuff and suckers for muskies and stuff like that, those bigger sizes are going to be very, very much welcomed. And I can't wait to see what else you guys got coming out. How did this thing come about? Why? What was the motive behind all this?
Really, it was just Cody. He's an outdoorsman himself, like all of us, and he loves to fish. He loves to use live bait. He loves going down to doing inshore stuff and crappie fishing in Missouri. And he wanted something that would, keep his bait alive, he was using, just your angle coolers or just your bucket with that aerator that you throw in there. And he wanted something that would last and that was durable. And he had this idea, and he got with our engineer, or the dive bomb engineer, and worked with Flop, got Flop going, and then they started thinking about ideas, what they wanted in a box, and it just kind of came together. They wanted it all in one package with no aeration tubes, nothing like that to kink or break or freeze, and they just put heads together, started brainstorming, and then came up with the Flop box.
How long have you guys been working on this?
So Flop started in 2019, and as soon as the company was actually founded, they started working on it. So about 4 years in the making. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Super cool. The other thing too, that I guess we didn't touch base on, here, let me grab it in the freezer real quick. Ooh. So when you're fishing, hot weather, and obviously aeration is one part of it, but keeping everything cool so it doesn't bake in the hot sun, you guys come up with a chill plate. And how that chill plate works, let's see here. Oh, this guy unscrews. And put that right on your lid, and voila, now you've got a chill plate, keep your bait cool. And I can see that using this for leeches, for minnows, even throwing some crawlers and stuff like that. This basket comes out. Yeah, that's another nice thing too, that's not a netting. This thing here is gonna definitely outlast any netting that's out there. That can come out. And then we'll show you just kind of on the bottom side here. You can actually see, let's see, try to get the camera positioned. It's hard to see. There you go. That little circle down there is where the aerator stone is. Now, a couple of questions for you, using this thing. Is that aerator stone replaceable?
Yes, sir. Yeah. If it ever breaks or anything, we have the little aeration stones. We don't have them available to buy separately right now, but in the coming weeks, we're going to have the replaceable, like the battery pack and the aerator. You can buy a separate one of those in case you need multiple. And if you're running like off grid or whatever, where you can't charge it for days at a time or whatever, you can buy that separately, and the aeration stone and the basket. So everything about the Flop box, you'll be able to buy separate on its own.
Oh, all right. That answers my next question. Andy asked what kind of battery and charging. So Andy, it's a lithium ion. Do you know how many amp hours or what the size battery that is?
So there's 9 individual 2600 mAh batteries in there. And that's the entire powerhouse of it. And then, so for charging, it's just your regular USB-C. So super simple. Everybody has a USB charger for something, and you can use the exact same thing for this.
Yep. So Andy, this right here is kind of the meat behind everything. It's the battery, the aerator. This little nipple right here fits inside kind of a little suction cup or a little hole on the side of the box. It just snaps into place, and that's it. I don't know if you can hear it or not. That's the other thing that I really liked about it. Everybody's owned an Angle, and everybody knows how annoying that aerator is. This thing here is whisper quiet. And the other thing too is that I was a little concerned about is, in the cold, being that, if we got an aerator line or a hose, when it's cold outside, that thing always freezes up. You get a little bit of siphoning that happens, and it freezes up, and you got to figure out how to thaw it all out. I've fished in some pretty extreme cold with this thing, and we have had 0 freeze up. The aerator is always working. And then the other thing that that you guys did, and I hope it's by design, that screw up on the top is that a breather? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's a breather.
Yep. So the only thing I've figured out is I did have it fall over on me once, and water comes shooting out of there. But when you have a sealed container as tight as what that is, you have to, the air has to go someplace. Otherwise you're just going to end up blowing something up. So every aspect of this box has been gone through. And like I said, the only thing that was missing was the light.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, we could, all ideas are on the table. I mean, if anyone has an idea, they can message it to me on Instagram or Facebook, and then I will send it over to our engineer. And, we're open to anything because, he's a heck of a guy and he knows what he's doing. So if anyone has an idea, he could probably make it happen.
So I worked with a company a few years back, and I know they're still around. One thing, it seemed like everybody and their brother was building a rotomolded cooler. Yeti and Mammoth and Ozark Trail. I mean, everybody basically was using the same cooler and just putting their name on it, right? I mean, that's kind of what happens over in China. And these guys down south came up with a cooler called Lit coolers. Are you familiar with those at all?
I have not heard of those, no.
So take a look at that because, it'd be a great idea for your guy to look into or for the engineer to look into Lit coolers, LIT coolers. What they did is they had basically it was a plastic ring or a light bar that was fully waterproof, rechargeable, and it set inside the cooler. And when you would open it, the whole cooler would be lit up. And then when you close it, it would automatically, the light would go off. And he used the magnet, basically, that was your contact. But boy, if you could incorporate something like that into this, that would be it. I mean, you guys would have everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely let our engineer know. That's easily something we could do.
Yeah. Just something on that lines. It doesn't have to be exactly what that guy did. I'm sure you could figure out a way to hook up, some sort of external power source or, even somehow even incorporating into here. All you need is, light even in the water, like our aerators and our live wells in our boat, and able to be able to see at night. But, the guys that do fish at night, we got headlamps and stuff like that on too. So, Todd asked, how much does it cost to replace the batteries, or do you have to purchase a whole new box?
So no, you won't have to purchase a whole new box. You'll only have to, if it's a manufacturer error for some reason, it shouldn't happen. But if anything were to break, we'll warranty everything and send you a new aeration unit for free of charge. But then if you want to buy a separate one, you'll have to purchase that. And we don't have a price at this time on the aeration unit with the battery pack. But no, you won't have to purchase a whole new unit.
Okay. Waterproof. How waterproof is this box right here?
So it's IPX4 water resistance. So, I mean, if you completely dunk it, you might have some issues, but, splashes, just average, if you're running in a boat and you got waves coming over, stuff like that, it's going to be totally fine.
Okay. So that USB-C, I don't have to worry about getting some water in there?
No, sir. No, you'll be good.
All right. Awesome. So one of our guys on here just got mine. How long is the warranty?
So as long as you have your order number, it doesn't matter how long. We'll replace it.
Well, there you go. That's some pretty good customer service. And you guys are based out of where?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. All right. And these
right.
get, where can I ask where you guys are having these made? Are they overseas?
So they're made overseas, but they're 100% assembled in our warehouse in St. Louis.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, these things, super, super great idea. Very, very well thought out, very well built. The nice thing about rotomolding is they're pretty much indestructible. The other thing that I've seen with a lot of different bait boxes, that style, there's plenty of them out there, is the balance. So when you have that thing full, and if there's no aerator on some of these other, boxes, some of the competitors, you can carry it. It's just fine. The minute you put an aerator on it, the box, or the container wants to go one way or the other. You can have this thing full or just a little bit of water, aerator or not, and this thing is balanced. It carries nice and easy. And, kudos to that as well. It's got rubber feet on the bottom. Really, like I said, there really hasn't been anything that I was too worried about. My biggest concern was the handle, or the latch, breaking, or not being able to suck the box, the lid down tight, and zero issues. Hats off to you guys for making this thing as good as what you did. Let's see what else. Price. Everybody wants to know price. What are they getting for this one here?
So the 10 is $275, and then the 20 and the 35, they're going to be more. We don't have an exact price yet, but so right now it's just the 10 is $275.
Okay. And people, they always complain about what price and cost of stuff, but when you start looking at how much live bait is getting these days, up by us, we fish a lot of minnows in the springtime. Then we switch over to leeches and crawlers throughout the summer. Night crawlers got up to like $5 a dozen up here. That's 50 cents a worm, and if you're losing a couple, boy, oh boy, if you fish, even a few times a week throughout the entire year of keeping your bait alive, investing in something that's going to keep your bait alive is going to save you money in the long run. And when you get something that's good and it's going to last forever, everybody's bought these Fravel coolers and, these angles, and there's probably a dozen different boxes sitting in my garage right now with broken latches. Netting is all tore up. They leak. They don't last. And that's really been the biggest problem.
Yeah. This one's built to last. It's built to be the last bait box you'll ever need. The price is a little high, but once you get it in your hands, you'll understand why and why it's as high quality as it is. It literally is the best one out there.
Yeah, no question. So where can guys get these? Are they going to be available at stores, or are you guys just going to keep everything consumer direct?
So right now they're only available on our website, flopindustries.com, but we are looking to reach out to, smaller, mom and pop style bait shops. So if anyone is an owner or knows someone that owns a small bait shop like that, reach out to us. And we can look into getting you set up on our retailer list. But we're not going to be in any like big box stores like Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, Academy, stuff like that. We're just sticking to online, like our website, and then smaller mom and pop tackle shops.
Okay. So I've got a whole bunch of guys in this area that I think would probably be really interested. How do I just contact you guys and get their names and numbers, or how would you like to have that done?
Yeah, you can shoot an email to us. I'll type it in the chat, but it's if I can, it's info@flopindustries.com. And then if you just want to send us your information, send us, your tackle shop, the website to it, any information like that, we will get a response back to you and get you set up.
Perfect. And obviously you guys will go through pricing and everything like that too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, everything like that. We'll get you set up on our retailer list with retailer pricing and stuff like that. So yeah, just shoot us an email at info@flopindustries.com.
Nice. Dive Bomb Industries. What else do you guys do?
So right now we're totally waterfowl. Our flagship original product was a V2 Canada silhouette. So just a 2D corrugated plastic board with a screen printed Canada goose on either side. And then now we've branched into, we have Canada's, specks, mallards, widgeons, pintails, ducks. We got, our floaters, and we just got in our first shipment of full body snow geese. And then later on down the line, we'll have more full bodies. We got all sorts of socks, for Canada, specs, snows, everything. We got a blind. It's called a high vert. It's a vertical blind. You can either run it as a panel or an A-frame style, and that it's huge. It's probably one of the biggest A-frames on the market. You can fit 4 big dudes or 5 guys even with a dog. It's got the dog door, which is unique to our A-frame. We got dog blinds. We have an entire line of dry bags, gun cases, backpacks, duffel bags, stuff like that. And then later on down the line, we're going to have, more technical apparel coming, bibs, vests, stuff like that. Right now, we have our airweight, which is our mid-layer puffy jacket. And then we have our base layer, our power hoodie, which is a merino wool base layer. But hopefully by this coming waterfowl season, we will have our entire line of technical apparel. So everything from your base layer all the way to your outer shell, your bibs, and everything in between.
Nice. Let's see. So I'm going to try and find. All right. I'm just going to your website here. I think everybody should be able to see that. So yeah, we're just on Dive Bomb Industries website. These are your silhouettes. You guys, so for people that didn't hear us earlier while we were talking, you guys are down in Arkansas doing some snow goose hunting. And I know a lot of my buddies up here are probably pretty jealous. Are the birds down there right now?
They're with this warm weather. I mean, it's been 70, 80 degrees the past couple of days. They've kind of pushed out, but there's still some around. The guy that we're going with tomorrow says it should be pretty decent. So, there's still definitely some birds around.
Okay. Well, you'll have to let us know and text me over some pictures. I'll gladly post them. And if you got an outfitter or somebody that's working down there, get me the guy's info, because like I said, there's a lot of guys right now up here that would probably jump in the car tomorrow and head your way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely shoot you over some pictures and their information.
Sure. So, I mean, yeah, you guys got some pretty cool dry bags. A lot of cool stuff for the waterfowl guy for sure. I want to see, what was the name of that blind?
The Hyvert. It should be under accessories, and it'll be on the very bottom one, vertical field blind.
All right. There we go. Oh yeah, framework.
So it's super big. You can either run it like that as an A-frame or a panel if you have some good back cover. And with the panel, you can fit 12 guys, and then, 9. And then on the like that as the A-frame, it's rated for 4 bigger guys, but I mean, we've had 5 guys and a dog in one and been completely fine.
Okay. How there's it set up kind of with the backdrop or with
Yes, sir.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, it's pretty unique, especially with that dog door. That's one of the main selling points of it.
Now, can this be fit onto a boat, or is it pretty much just for in the field?
It's pretty much for in the field, but if you have a big enough boat and want to throw it in there, I mean, you shouldn't have any issues with it. It's just, it is very big, so you'll need a pretty big boat to actually fit it in there.
All right. And your silhouettes, I was looking at some of this stuff here earlier, and I mean, you guys, they're spot on.
Oh yeah, they're great, especially with our fully flocked ones. We just came out with 2 new products: our fully flocked Canada sleepers, and then our fully flocked mallard silhouettes. So that's going to give it 0 reflectivity. So there'll be no shine on the decoys whatsoever, and it just makes those colors a lot darker and a lot more vivid to where they really pop when they're set out in the field.
Nice. Super cool. Yeah, being a diver hunter, I don't really do a whole lot of field hunting, but where we moved out to here, now we've got everything we need for set up just perfect. We've got ponds behind our house. We've got cornfields across the street. And my goal when we first moved here, we moved in June, and then that first fall, never really scouted the area, didn't know really what was going on. And I'm sitting in my backyard, and all of a sudden, I think I could shoot some geese out of my hot tub off the back deck. These things come off the pond. and they fly right over to the cornfield.
Get 2 Canon silhouettes out there and start shooting them. You know, it works sometimes like that.
Yeah, no, they what's crazy is they don't have a chance because they literally come up over the top of they come out of the ponds, fly over the tops of the pine trees, and we're right here. We actually got married in our backyard, and when we were sitting inside the big tent, it was raining the day of the wedding. All the geese got up, and it was funny as we just watched our wedding video here a few weeks back, and my shotgun's always loaded next to the garage door just for that case. And I'm like, all right, everybody was doing speeches and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to go shoot some geese right in the middle of the wedding.
There you go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see. Andy's like, hinge broke on my angle this morning, so I'm in the market. Well, Andy, there you go.
This is the box for you, man. You won't have, you will be blown away by it. I can almost guarantee that you'll love it.
I've had a few guys already order them. Guys that they watch what I do. They're always keen on finding that new techie stuff. And if it passes my test for a week, like I said, it'll last most guys a lifetime. And I can't see this thing breaking down on me. Short of the only thing I can see maybe happening for me is dropping the aerator or something like that, or it falling off if we're going on some long treks. But so far, the way it slides in there and snaps into place, I haven't had anything even think about come bouncing off. And we're trekking across the lake with snowmobiles, and this bait cooler is sitting inside of a sled bouncing around, and zero issues. Like I say, that thing tipped over. And by the time we got to where we were fishing, it was upside down. Water was coming out of the little breather hole, but the aerator, nothing came off, and minnows still had a little bit of water in there. We put some more water in, we were good to go. So, super good deal.
That latch that the aerator hooks onto is super sturdy. It shouldn't pop off at all. In everyday general use, especially like you're saying, bopping across a lake on a snowmobile, no matter what you're doing, it's going to stay on there.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. What else am I missing? You got, I know there was some bottle openers on the corners.
Yeah.
That's pretty important.
Drinking a beverage, while you're out fishing, everybody likes to do that. So we thought of everything almost.
You really did. I will give you guys major kudos. Everything about that box so far has been spot on. Can you explain some of the indentations? I know you've got a couple. I'm guessing it's going to be for different mounts, like what that would be for, and maybe what this side piece is here for. This foam, I'm guessing this is put some jigs and stuff on.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So that foam piece is to hook in jig heads or whatever you may be using, just to keep them handy, within reach, like that. And then, some of the other things we have in coming down the line, we're thinking about adding, attachable rod holders, attachable little, tackle boxes like that you can hook on there. So, that's going to be coming down the line.
Nice. Yep. So going back here, this little piece right here for guys who, just talking again, it's just a soft foam, just like basically what's in our little tackle boxes and stuff like that we're sticking our ice jigs into. You've got a spot where you can pluck some jigs and keep them handy if you need to. Yeah, super cool. Some cup holders on the top. Oh, yeah, very nice, guys. Well, I know you guys are going to get up early in the morning, so I won't keep you too late. I appreciate you joining and kind of explaining everything. And if people have any questions, I'll try and do my best. Otherwise, I'll divert it to you guys. And again, thanks for joining. We'll see you guys here end of March. You guys are going to come up, and we're going to hit probably the Fox or Green Bay, or hopefully one of the big walleye places, and show you guys some pretty good fishing up here.
Awesome. Yeah. Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, man.
All right. Well, good luck hunting, and send me some pics. I'd love to see them.
Will do. Yes, sir. Appreciate you having us on.
All right. Thanks, Jordan. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. Super cool dudes. Sounds like they've got the passion for the outdoors, just like we do. And truthfully is, don't let the price scare you away, because if you're like me, I've gone through numerous, whether it be Frables or Ingles. I've got some rotomolded stuff that some companies have tried that just didn't, they're not fully designed to be a bait cooler. It's more of a cooler that they tried putting an aerator in. So you've got hoses and they leak and everything else. This thing here is no leaking. Nothing's going to freeze up on you. It's going to last longer than any aerator that you'll ever tried. And no batteries to replace. This box right here is it. That's the meat behind the potatoes, and super nice product. Check them out, flopindustries.com. If you want to see them, I know I will. I'll have mine with me all spring. If you see me out and about, stop in. Ask. I'll gladly show it to you. I'm gonna try and see if I can get a couple of the shops. Talk to Critters and True Value and a couple of the bigger bait shops around here, and see if they're interested in maybe bringing them in too, or one or two or whatnot. Because like I say, I just even having a few guys out here on the ice this year. Right away they couldn't believe how well built it was, how well it worked, and we're looking to get one for themselves. So hopefully we can get somebody local here to bring them in, so you guys don't have to order them. But hey, here's a great thing. They've got a free shipping deal, 2-day shipping, and gets right to your house, and you don't have to travel and do anything. Spring's right around the corner. We're going to be in the boats. We're going to be using the shiners. We're going to be using fatheads and everything else for the walleyes and the crappies. So if you're looking to get a new aerator, you want to make all your buddies jealous, take a look at one of the new flop boxes and get one ordered up and here before we get the boats out. Anybody local out still on the ice? We have found very few spots. Winnebago, I have not been out in Winnebago. I know the guys out there were still saying that the ice is pretty good. I'll defer that stuff to those guys over there. I took a drive around Poigand, and we did some small lakes and looking at Green Lake and everything today. And the crazy thing is that open water on Poigand goes from the Pine River damn near halfway across the lake, right down the center of the lake is a big open water path that it almost looks like it's coming right out of the Pine River, and it just keeps going and going and going. I did walk out over by Captain's Cove and off a county just to see what it looked like, and it was probably 8 inches of just slush on top of the ice. I wasn't even thinking about going out. I just wanted to see kind of what the lake looked like, see how close we are to losing everything that's out there, so we can start getting the boats in. A lot of the lakes over by me, the Washera County lakes, with all that rain, we got over 1 inch of rain. The ice I don't know. You could probably walk out in some of the bays and do that. I wouldn't be taking any vehicles or 4-wheelers, snowmobiles, any of that kind of stuff anywhere right now. We did walked out about 100 yards on one of the lakes and drilled a couple holes, and you could feel the ice when you set the auger on top of the ice. When you feel that and kind of that stuff start to give away, then it's getting to be real close to being the end. I think it was almost 40, mid 40s, upper 40s today. All that rain, all that weight pushing down into the ice, you drill a hole and the water comes shooting right out. So all that weight is pushing down, all the water is pushing up, and it won't take long. And what ice we do have left out there is probably going to be gone here. My guess by I would say 2 weeks. Looks like it's going to get cold, but I don't think it's past the point of return. The sun's getting pretty hot, pretty high, and hopefully it'll start just chewing up the rest of the ice that we got, and we can start concentrating on the boat. So I know a lot of people out there want to argue the fact that the ice is good, and I've got ulterior motives on as far as whatever happened back on Battle on Bago, but we warned people to stay off Poygan, and unfortunately lost a life, and it's just a sad deal. It shouldn't have happened. It didn't have to happen, and whether he knew it or not, he was out there for the tournament, and it's always a risk when you go out there. You can't take that away from him. The guy died doing what he loved, but really, if the tournament would have been canceled, we would have saved a life. So that's just my 2 cents on that, and I'll stick to that. So anyway, moving on. We've got the Fox River. I'm going to try and get Troy Kraus up on here to get a report. Maybe next week we'll bring him in and we can talk some Fox River walleye fishing. I know he's already been out there a bunch of times. I'm still in the middle of rigging my boat, getting everything ready to go. Can't wait to get that thing on the water. We've had the boat shows and just everything going on. Just some crazy time right now. Everybody's kind of looking to relax a little bit, put the ice gear away, and start fishing in the open water. That's kind of my goal. If anybody's got anything or questions, or you want to talk about anything here for a little bit, chime in, please. Send a message. I've got a couple different people looking at getting on to talk some fishing with us. One of the people that a friend of mine, Dave Feber, is a MLF professional bass guy out of Pennsylvania. We're going to get him on one of these Tuesdays and kind of see what's going on in the MLF side of the world. I know they changed the rules up this year, and see if the new rules are going to help him out. He's kind of been in a slump, but we'll have Dave on. And let's see. I was looking at possibly seeing if Sarah Parvin would come join us. Her and her dad run the Slab Lab. If you haven't seen the bluegills that these guys are raising, they're trying to grow the world's biggest bluegill, trying to grow a world record bluegill down in Alabama. They've got some pretty cool stuff happening down there. So I want to try and get her on and let her show you guys what she's doing and see some of the bluegills and stuff that they're growing down there. It's pretty remarkable. If you haven't seen, take a look. Just do a Google search on Slab Lab and look at some of these bluegills that they're catching down there. They just don't even look right. Pretty impressive stuff. Other than that, that's really it. I heard today that Chico is selling the landing on the shop. Holy buckets. That's some pretty big news. What's going on there? I mean, can you elaborate? Is it up for sale, or did he find somebody to buy it? Do we know who's going to buy it? That's crazy. Yeah, Chico's been a staple on the Wolf River for many, many years. Well, Jared said it's sold. Who bought it? Anybody know? Jared, were you guys out fishing today? In the boat probably too, right? He says he bought it on his post selling July 31st. Who bought it? So Jared was up on the Fox, I think, today. Okay, nobody knows who's buying it though. That'd be interesting. And how are the walleyes biting up on the Fox? Are they there? I mean, or is it Fishing's still pretty good. How's the water clarity? Give us a report of what you've seen. He said who's buying it is on his Facebook page. Oh, we'll have to go take a look here once. So Tudor, Jennifer, and Alex. So I'm guessing they're probably just past customers, and here I'll just copy and paste this right into the message. So that was copied and pasted off of Chico's page there. So Tim, how is the ice out on Bago? I mean, has anybody gone out there and checked after the last couple days? I know there is a ton of weight on that ice right now. And that's really what scares me more than anything. I mean, you could have had great ice 4 days ago, but you put that much water and that much weight on that ice and it's pushing down, you're going to start creating, the ice was already honeycombed. Guys that want to argue that fact, take a snow cone, right? Just a bunch of slush, put it in the freezer. Sure, it gets hard. It'll be hard as a rock as soon as you take it out, but you warm that snow cone up just a little bit and take it and push it and squeeze it in your hand, and it just goes to mush. That's what the lake is. Granted, yeah, we've had some cold days, and it's kept what ice is out there pretty firm, but it's not good ice. It's not hard ice. And once all this rain, all this wind and everything else, this ice is going to go super fast, and I think people are going to be super surprised on how fast this ice goes, and it'll be crazy. I mean, I just hope people are going to be smart and not venture and get themselves into trouble. Clarity's good, 3 feet. Walleyes are still biting. No, there you go. I don't ever remember getting a phone call for a fishing trip or an invite here, Jared and Troy. So just keeping you in mind here. Keep me in mind. Yeah. So, I mean, 5 inches of ice with lots of slush on top, I can guarantee you that ice was not good. Like I say, it's going to go super, super fast. You take an ice cube and you put it in water and let it sit there for, how long. And, it turns to mush. People don't understand that. Granted, it'll freeze again. You can take frozen slush, or you can take slush and freeze it. And, every time you do that, it just gets weaker and weaker, and pretty soon it's nothing more than mush. And yeah, there's a little bit of hardness to it in the mornings, but as soon as that sun comes back out, man, it won't take long. I've been out on the ice enough days late season to know that in the morning you can go out and drill a hole and you wouldn't think anything different. And by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, if you're still out there and that sun, starts beating on the ice, you're walking on a waterbed to get back to shore, and hopefully your feet don't go through, because it'll go that fast. Last year, was it last year or the year before? We drove trucks out on Poygan on a Sunday, and by Wednesday it was open water. So it doesn't take long. I mean, it'll go fast, and I'm sure there'll be a few people that'll risk it, and so be it. getting to the point where I don't even want to tell people, what it's like out there, because all they want to do is criticize you and tell you that you don't know, and you got different motives. And you know what? If we saved, lives by keeping people off the lakes and coming up to the tournaments, I don't care what anybody says to me. They can tell me all they want. They can make fun of me. They can do whatever they want. The way I look at it is, if we would have had, more people than what came, I'm pretty certain we would have probably seen more accidents. And I'm totally cool with all the crap that people want to talk about me. I'm okay with that. I talked with a lot of other guys. I had a lot of people that lived on the lake message me and tell me that they appreciated it, and a lot of people from out of state that were coming up for the tournament that chose not to. And you got to remember, guys, us local guys know the system. We know what to look for. But even at that, the 2 trucks that went in on Poigan were local guys. They just found a bad spot. That's all it takes. And when you got inexperienced people and people from out of the area and everything else, if we prevented, more accidents from happening, that's all we were trying to do. I had nothing more than to just, keep somebody from dying, really, is all it was. I had nothing against, anybody, no personal vendettas, nothing. It was strictly, especially me. If I'm uncomfortable taking people out on the lake, it's not good for somebody that's not even out there or knows the system to go out. So I chose not to go. People say, oh, I did that so I could have the lake to myself. Well, guess what? I wasn't out there. So you're right. I guess you guys could have the lake. I haven't been out there since, and I won't be until my boat goes in the water. Too dangerous out there for me. I'm not going to risk anything for any fish. So that's that. I'm done talking about that, and we'll just wait for for ice out, and we're gonna probably do some walking, and hopefully be able to get out a couple more days on some small spots for some perch and some bluegills, and make the best of what we have left. And that's going to be a season for me. We're going to be heading to California here in a couple weeks for some vacation with the kiddos. And it'll be open water time here probably in the next 2 weeks or so. I'll be shutting all the ice stuff down and hitting the boat. So that's what I know. That's what I got. And if you guys go out on the ice this weekend, stay safe. Head north. I mean, they got great ice up north. Guys are planning on driving trucks up there for the next couple of weeks. Talking to guys up in Bötehouse there and Eagle River, Minocqua area. Hayward area, all those guys. The ice is awesome, and should be good here for a while up there. It seems like the last couple of years, everything south of 29 is just we're not getting the ice, we're not getting the winters, and everything north of 29 is just continue as planned. So that's all I know. Thanks again to Jordan for coming on. And if you have any questions on that flop box, shoot me a note, and I'll do what I can to answer you. Otherwise, send those guys a note, and they'll help you out. So appreciate everybody joining in, and we'll try and figure out who's going to be on next week, and let you guys know a little bit earlier. But I'm looking forward to it, and have a good evening. Have a good weekend, and we'll catch you guys on the water next time. Thanks, Tim. You too. Have a good night, bud.